The international break is over and already talks are moving towards the Premier League restarting and, of course, news with managers. And one manager that is in the news this morning is our very own Eddie Howe. He is linked with 2 Premier League jobs as well as the England job. Welcome to the Toon Review, everybody. My name's Paul. Thank you very much for tuning in. As usual, if you do enjoy the video, don't forget to give it the thumbs up. And if you're new and you like what you see, please do subscribe. But don't forget to hit that notification bell so you never miss an upload or a live show. Right, Eddie Howe, linked with 2 jobs this morning in the Premier League. Now, the first one has come from The Sun. Yes, that's right, ladies and gentlemen, The Sun. So take this with a very small pinch of salt. However, Tottenham Hotspur are believed to be interested in Eddie Howe should Amanda Staveley and her very, very rich backers take over the football club. Now, I don't know what's going on with Amanda because she has put the company that was involved in Newcastle United, that's gone into voluntary liquidation. Now, there's all sorts of rumours going around about Amanda's finances, obviously. However, this report states that she is backed by some very rich people to continue the takeover of Tottenham Hotspur. And if it happens, Amanda Staveley's number 1 choice for manager at the football club is Eddie Howe. I don't know, obviously, how she feels about Postecoglou. It doesn't seem very good for him. However, Amanda is a big fan of Eddie Howe and her husband Mehrdad, of course. They brought Eddie to Newcastle United and they had a very, very close relationship with Eddie during his time, or during their time at Newcastle United. Now, where Eddie stands on this, I have no idea, but I find it very baffling that Eddie would even consider going to Tottenham Hotspur. It's not a club that I would really associate Eddie Howe with. It's not really the type of football Tottenham like to play or the fans like to watch. And the fans, for one, they are on top of a manager in the first couple of defeats. They really are. You look at the managers that have been there and a few defeats and they're all over them. I'm not sure it's the right environment for Eddie. Of course, he's still very heavily linked with the England job. However, news and rumours, if you like, have come out over the weekend that the FA are looking at Guardiola. They are keeping tabs on Guardiola's contract situation in Manchester City. Of course, it ends at the end of the season, and he is expected to leave when his contract ends. So are the FA waiting to hang on till the end of the season and go for Guardiola, offering him big, big money to try and win something for England for the first time since 1966? I don't know how I feel about Eddie Howe and Tottenham. It just doesn't have a ring to me. But of course, that very close relationship he's got with Amanda and Mehrdad, would that sway him to leave Newcastle United, given all that's happened since they've left the club? I'm not sure. I think Eddie loves being here. I really do. I don't think Eddie resigns from this football club. I just don't see it. If Eddie goes from this football club, it's because things haven't worked out and he's been relieved of his duties. That's how I think Eddie will leave Newcastle United whenever that time comes. But at the moment, I think Eddie is now focused. I think things have settled down behind the scenes at Newcastle United. And I genuinely believe that he wants to stay. I'd be very surprised if Tottenham did complete this takeover, then make a move for Eddie Howe. I'd be stunned if he moved. I really would. But that's not the only Premier League club he's been linked with this morning, guys. The other one is Manchester United. I mean, can you believe it? Of all the clubs in the Premier League, Eddie Howe is one of the favourites to take over should they sack Erik ten Hag. Now, I find this one even more baffling than the Spurs one, to be honest, because, let's be honest, we all kind of know that Eddie didn't have a very good relationship with a certain person at Manchester United who was at Newcastle United as sporting director. It didn't seem to be a very good relationship, and the fact that now he's been linked to go to Manchester United and work with said person again, I find that quite astounding. I really do. I don't know where these reporters get their information from, if it is indeed any information at all, but I'm stunned actually, because Eddie Howe to Manchester United is about as far away as me meeting the Pope, and believe me, that's a long way. That will never probably happen, as I think Eddie Howe to Manchester United. I cannot see that happening. You know what? I mean, I don't know whether reporters do this just to upset the apple cart at Newcastle or start these fake rumours or whatever they may be, but I just find it laughable. I mean, is it good that we have a manager who is that good, that has been linked with Spurs, linked with Man United, linked with England? Absolutely. but he's not going anywhere. I think Eddie's committed to Newcastle United. And, that one for me is more even astounding than the Spurs one. I just don't get it at all. There is a lot of managers out there who I think are more suited to Tottenham Hotspur and certainly more suited to Manchester United. Because I don't think Eddie would work with said former sporting director. I don't even want to give his name because it makes me feel sick. But that's the latest rumours on Eddie Howe, ladies and gents. Let me know in the comments below what you think of all that crap. Now, a player that is linked with Newcastle United in the January window, and this has been banded around for a little while now, but never really sort of reported in great detail, that Newcastle United are looking at Manchester United's winger, Antony, to come to Newcastle United in January. Now, they don't say whether this is a loan with a view to buy or just a loan. There's nothing of that said. But really? I mean, this guy has been an absolute failure. Let's not beat around the bush with this one. He has been a failure. 82 million quid Manchester United signed this guy for, and he's been a complete flop. There's no other words will cover how Antony has played for Manchester United. He has been a flop. And, you look at him when he's on the pitch and you think, does this kid have the right attitude? Is he really what we want as a player? Do we want a Manchester United cast-off? I don't think so. I think there's better players that we should be targeting for that position. Now, this has all come about because apparently Miggy Almiron is going to be leaving in January. I think a lot of people have accepted that's going to happen. He's not getting any team, he's not getting any play, is he? Let's be honest. He did well last time he played. Was impressed with him, actually. But, was that his level against Wimbledon? You know what I mean? That might be a bit harsh, to be honest. But I think, Miggy can go on and do something in the rest of his career, but I don't think it's with Newcastle United, quite frankly. But Antony, I mean, Jesus Christ. We've seen some very, very good right wingers in this country and across Europe and in the world right now. And Antony is not up there. And God knows what they'd ask for a transfer fee as well. I mean, if they paid 82 million quid for him, they are not going to want to just give ridiculous money for him. It's mental. I cannot see that transfer happening. And I don't know where this has come from, where these reporters get this. Why would Newcastle be interested in Antony? Yes, they need they need a player in that position, but they need a successful player in that position. Not one that's been a flop by any stretch of the imagination. Now, Adidas, good God. I mean, really, good God. What are they doing? I mean, I don't know whether you've seen it, guys, but there is a leaked kit come out, which is apparently going to be Newcastle's new kit for next season. I'll put it on the screen now. See what you think, because I think it is truly horrific. It looks like a pair of curtains or blinds or whatever you want to say. You remember them old net blinds that your grandma used to have? It looks like that kind of material. It's bloody awful. I don't know what Adidas are thinking. It is a truly awful kit, and I hope this stays exactly where it is right now as just a render. I don't know where it got leaked from, but it's all over social media. The disgust for it is right up there, guys. It is right up there with everybody. So I think Adidas, if that is going to be the new kit, I think you need to think again, because what you've put out for the 25-26 kit, or what's been leaked anyway, is genuinely awful. Now, Alexander Isak is apparently Newcastle's Chiefs' next priority for a new contract. Obviously, after Anthony Gordon signed his, Isak is next to try and get one done. Now, Isak, for me, has not been great this season at all. In fact, he's been very, very poor, apart from international duty, where he's performed. But we can talk about, whether we play to his strengths until the cows come home. The fact is that he should be back this Saturday along with Callum Wilson. Which is great news for us. But again, all of us Newcastle United fans are simply saying, well, how long do they both stay fit for? Because they're both made of glass, quite frankly. However, we know that Isak is an astonishing footballer when he's on it. And to get him under contract or renew the contract or extend it, whatever they're going to do, I think is vital, because if anybody does want to come in for Isak in the future, we can demand a lot of money. We can demand a lot of money now, but it's about keeping the player settled, making his wages up there with the best players at Newcastle United. I think that is a foregone conclusion for me, that the top players deserve the top wages. So Newcastle United Chiefs are going to turn their attention to Isak's contract, and also Sean Longstaff's been mentioned as well as a priority to get done. Look, whatever you think of Sean, and we've discussed this many times on the show, we do not want to lose Sean Longstaff on a free transfer. If his contract runs out in the summer next year and he disappears, I think we've lost out on a bit of money, which Newcastle United, the way PSR, etc. works, we can't afford to do that. We need to get these players under contract so that if we do sell them, then they don't just walk away from this club on a free transfer. So Isak, for me, needs to get done, and so does Sean. And finally, Paul Gascoigne has had his say on St James's Park. He thinks it would be absolutely stupid to move away from the city centre and from St James's Park. He believes that it's an unbelievable stadium. He does say in the interview that he feels sorry for the away fans and the journey they've got to go up all those steps. I mean, I would think that if Newcastle United do anything with the current St James's Park and an expansion, surely they've got to put some lifts in or something for the away fans. I mean, it's ridiculous. The climb up them steps is horrendous. So, yeah, I get where he's come from with the away fans, but he says they have to keep the stadium in the city centre. It's part of religion in Newcastle. It's like, he mentioned it being a cathedral, etc. We all as fans call it the cathedral on the hill. So, Gaz has thrown his weight in there and said we need to stay at St James's Park. I think where everybody stands at the moment on the ground itself is, I think it's 50-50 at the minute. I really do. We've got a very interesting show tonight. If you're watching this on Monday at 7 o'clock, basically saying Newcastle United and St James's Park, what next? And we're going to have a big discussion. We're going to look at some renders that have already been done for a new stadium. We're going to look at expansions for St James's. We're also going to look at other football grounds that have recently been built and what kind of atmosphere they hold and things like that. And would it be wise to move stadiums and build a new one, etc. So it's going to be a very interesting show with me, Sam, and Billy tonight. So don't forget to tune into that at 7 o'clock. But it's interesting, these former players coming out. Of course, Gaza played for Newcastle before the stadium was like it is now, but of course he did come back and play in the Bobby Robson game, of course, just before the great man passed away. So he has sort of lived it a little bit to play in that stadium like it is now. So I'm interested to see how other former players feel about the stadium. I think it holds a big piece of their heart, and just as it does with fans. But we all have to, I guess on the flip side, move on with the times, don't we? But we'll see what happens with that. But join the show tonight. It should be a hell of a discussion. So there you go. As usual, guys, leave your comments below on any of the points raised in the video. If you have enjoyed it, hit the thumbs up. And of course, if you're new and like what you see, we're on the way to 33,000 subscribers. Please do hit the subscribe button. Free to do so. And of course, don't forget to hit the bell, which will notify you when we upload any videos such as this one or we schedule in a live show. But thank you very much. As I said, if you're watching this on Monday, please do tune in at 7 o'clock tonight. Or if you're watching a later date, watch the rerun of it. It should be a fantastic show about the stadium. But in the meantime, enjoy the rest of your Monday, folks. Take care.